Yo, what up guys? We've got another combat beta update, these are coming out pretty quick now, so we're going to keep on top of them. We're going to talk about what the changes are. And now the initial bit here is just about how to access it and how to go back, because I guess people were getting stuck with both of these steps. They never used to have this, so it's kind of like, how do you get back? So yeah, there you go. It's good. But I'll link this in the description for the whole post if you want to go through it. However, you're going to skip through to this bit. Now, if you guys are like, where's the camera? We're in camera issues. I don't know what's going on with it. It's lagging out my entire PC, so I'll figure it out. But anyway, if you want to give feedback, go to the Discord and Reddit, I believe. There's a combat beta channel in the Discord, and then there's a thread here to the Reddit. So there you go. That's how you do it. But yeah, so what is changing or patch notes? So with the last beta, we pulled multiple levers all at once to tone down the amount of power being introduced. In this update, we've addressed those points further based on the data and your feedback. As always, please let us know if you have any feedback. So it looks like they're doing a lot of quick tests right now. So they're trying to find that sweet spot of damage and stuff. And obviously they've done quite a few changes last time where they brought critical strike damage down. And everybody was basically saying, holy shit, this was a massive change. And it feels a little bit bad. Now, I can already see here that they've increased that again, so not fully, but a little bit. So they're trying to find that nice sweet spot. It says, in the last beta patch, critical strikes felt a little too underwhelming. Getting a crit on a low damage roll would put you just above your max hit. So we're putting a bit of the previously removed power back into crits. Cool. So they're trying to, this makes sense. And obviously this is a beta world and not the live game, so it doesn't even matter if they want to mess with it ridiculously and try different things out. That's what it's there for. So this is good. Changes. Critical strike damage, they've changed the strike damage formula across all styles. So level 90, level 30, from 35% to go up to 50%. Adjusted the damage of guaranteed critical strike abilities such as shadow tendrils and smoke tendrils to take into account their extra guaranteed damage. Okay, cool. So they must have felt they've probably brought this down. They haven't said, they just adjusted it. I'm going to assume they brought this down to what it was previously because they probably felt that was okay. We'll have to see when we actually get in the game. But critical strike adrenaline buff. Reducing the adrenaline from critical strike effects such as tsunami left players a bit high and dry. We're upping the adrenaline gained, which with the best critical strike chance and higher critical strike damage should make pop-off moments a bit more impressive. Okay. Increase the average gain from the critical strike buff from the meteor strike, incendiary shot, and tsunami. So it's from 6% now to 8%. So there's a 2% increase there, whereas 2% might sound like just 2. That's not, this can be a big deal. It can, when you're working with critical strike chance and all that sort of stuff, and the actual percentage that you get every time, it can be a big difference. So there you go. Fury. Fury struggled as a noob trap ability due to its weak build up and short cooldown, so we've brought it more in line with Greater Fury. Fury now hits once and is longer a channeled ability. Okay. Amended its damage to account for this, so the average damage is 110%. Increased the critical strike chance of your next melee ability by 10%. Okay, so, and that's going from a 5.4 second cooldown to 15 seconds. That's a pretty big increase in cooldown duration, but I mean, hey, they're working out things, and maybe this will be better. So this is why it's important for you guys to actually test this stuff out and give feedback, because whenever they make all these changes, until they get feedback, then they're not going to actually, be able to work that out and see what people are thinking. Also, can I just stress a point here? I keep hearing this. They're just changing the game to suit the higher level players. Now, a lot of this kind of does seem like it is, because they're saying, oh, we don't want the higher level players to blow up bosses, so we're bringing it down a little bit. Those sort of wordings do suck, but also keep in mind, right, the feedback they're getting, the majority is probably coming from those players that are so invested into PvM that they do it very often. They've spent a lot of time learning it. So they themselves have sat there like, right, they're going to change the game that I play daily and how I play and how I engage with it. I'm going to give my feedback on it. Guys, if you're an average player, if you're a casual player, you need to give your feedback on this if you care about it. If you're saying that, well, they're changing it to cater to these players, give your feedback and specify that, you're an average player, you don't actually, a top tier, like top 0.5%, and just give your feedback as well, because they can't cater to your guy, like you guys, if you guys don't give feedback. It's pretty much how kind of like it works, So do that too. Anyway, let's move on to this. Greater Fury. With the previous beta iteration, we re-added the variants to Greater Fury. Players expressed they preferred it to be in a consistent source of critical strike, so we're reinstating this, but increasing its cooldown to make sure it's used where it counts and reduces its overall impact on melee. Okay, so increases the critical strike chance of your next melee ability by 25% is now going to your next melee ability within 15 seconds is guaranteed to critically strike. Okay, so they've changed. This was insanely broken when it first did this because it was a 5.4 second cooldown. So you would use this often and then you would crit all the time on your next one, right? And that was really important. But now it's every 15 seconds, and I think this is probably good. This sounds to me like a good balance in terms of like on paper. I don't use melee, so I'm not 100% sure. But on paper, it seems like you know, you can have the guaranteed crit, but you have to pick when you can use it. I like the idea of that. So you meleeers, let me know what you think about this, of course, in the comments. Leng swords. We're making Lengs a little more frosty. Players expressed the new special was making them feel a little adrenaline starved versus live hurricane. While we don't think Leng should outright generate adrenaline, we can reduce their costs and push players more towards a flurry of hits playstyle. Okay, primordial ice is now stored on the player, whereas it was stored on the target, and the ice now reduces the cost of icy tempest by 6% per stack, and primordial ice max stacks is from 20 to 10. So, this means that you'll have the effects if you switch target, which I guess is good for a few bosses and stuff, but maybe not. Won't make a big difference for tons of bosses, maybe. Unless that also means now you can change weapons. I don't know exactly what these changes are. I've not messed with the Leng sword, so I don't really understand the actual spec of what they were doing with it anyway. But you guys will have to let me know your thoughts on this as well. I'm interested for sure. I just don't fully understand where the specs are right now, and because it's not written here, other than, you know, it reduces the cost of this, then I'm like, wait, what does that actually do? Bow of the Last Guardian. With previous changes to the Dark Bow and its special attack, the Bow of the Last Guardian felt slightly underwhelming versus the live game. We're adding back some of that power. Okay, cool. So the Bow of the Last Guardian was a talking point from a lot of people because they were like, oh, it's so broken, it's insane. And then they nerfed it and they're like, you know. So now they're bringing it back a little bit. Balance of Force average damage has gone from 200% to 245. Perfect Equilibrium stored damage has gone from 30% to 35%. So some increases in numbers there. We'll have to see how that pans out as well. And again, if you have one, then give me feedback and let them know, because the more feedback they get, the better they're going to end up in a good position with this, you know, a better chance of ending in the right place. When arrows were a bit too complex and a little too underpowered to make them viable anywhere, we're simplifying them to make them a better option when players need a hit chance boosting ammo. No, this is still a work in progress, so maybe prone to bugs or issues. Special abilities now also consume Icy Chill. Updated the base damage and hit chance increase for each Icy Precision stack. Threshold abilities 2 to 3%, ultimate abilities 3% unchanged, and special abilities from 0% to 3%. So there's some increases in the damages there, right? Are these damage rates or hit? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, but there you go. Quest bosses. Okay, with the changes to damage potential from the latest beta combined with high defenses, several quest bosses were extremely tanky. We've increased your hit chance against them and up their HP to compensate, making these fights a smooth experience. So I would never even thought of this, but that's only because I'm so out of it with quests that I only really did the quests when I'd already maxed most of them, and so a lot of quest bosses didn't really feel like a challenge. But I guess if you're at the right place, then it makes sense. Okay, so yeah, fair enough. We're just gonna go through these. There's a lot of changes there. Okay. So they fixed an issue where using the Seven Godbow special attack Crystal Rain on blocked NPCs wouldn't work as expected. Fixed a number of issues with magic ability animation priorities. So that's pretty much it for now. I think the majority of this was melee changes. Obviously the crit and the criticals. The criticals are a big deal. This will affect all styles. I'm going to tonight be streaming a testing of magic, because they added the Staff of Armadyl spec and I've not done it yet. I just haven't had the chance. So tonight I'll be doing that, even if it's just for a couple of hours. So if you're interested, make sure you have notifications on for that. And I'll be in the Discord. There'll be a link in the description if you want, and I ping it there as well. But we'll test this out with the new crit thing. I didn't really test it before with the reduced crit, but it doesn't matter really. Like, honestly, the way it goes is you might as well test whatever you've got, because this could change again in a couple of days and then it's completely different again. But either way, I'm interested in testing out the Staff of Armadyl crit, and we'll see how it feels. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want, go and check out the the combat thing, make sure to give feedback, but then also pop back and drop a comment on what you think about it as well, if you want to test it out first, and I get some information and some tips for later on. But yeah, anyway, hopefully you found this useful. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all in the next one, or maybe tonight. See you later, guys. Bye.